Here in historic Chateau Yarra in the Yarra Valley, Kia has chosen this particular spot to release two new GT cars for 2019. One will surprise you and the other one probably won't. This is Cerato. Cerato comes in a hatch and a sedan, and they're $31,990. The other one is this car. This is the Picanto GT, and it comes in a manual only and is $17,990. And of course, all of the Kias come with Damien Meredith's famous 7-year warranty. Styling cues have been kept to a minimum. There's some red highlights in the grille and the fog lights in the lower grille. Around the side, there's a subtle body styling kit. Kia's waved its magic wand over Cerato, its top-selling car. They sold 18,620 last year. 1,206 of those were in December alone. While the Australian car market was positively awash with red last year, Kia managed to stay in the black, increasing its sales over 7%. They're now 5.1%, which is one place behind Holden at 5.3%. After the ill-fated Proceed GT was canned, Kia lacked a pocket rocket up until now. Cerato GT picks up where Proceed left off. It follows in the success of the Cerato sedan, which launched last year. Many blame the lack of an automatic transmission for the failure of Proceed GT. They haven't made the mistake with this, it's got a 7-speed DCT. Cerato GT's 150 kilowatt engine is teamed with that 7-speed DCT transmission. The new car is bigger than the old car on all dimensions except the wheelbase. It's 160mm longer, 20mm wider, and 10mm lower for this GT version. But it doesn't end there. They've shoehorned a bunch of stuff inside too. The list includes autonomous emergency braking, forward collision warning, lane keep assist, rear view camera with dynamic guidelines, driver alert warning, front and rear parking sensors, and these 18-inch alloys. It has 6 airbags, tyre pressure monitor, speed limiter, and an 8-way adjustment for the driver's seat with 2 memory settings just in case you forget where you were sitting. It's got smart cruise control, an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, and an 8-speaker premium JBL sound system, which sounds brilliant. It's got Bluetooth connectivity and of course the ubiquitous climate control air conditioning. It might surprise you to learn in such a relatively inexpensive car that the front seats are heated and ventilated. That means you can get wafts of cool air up the Khyber. Kia's local tuning team, led by Graham Gamble, made Cerato GT as good as it can possibly be for Australian buyer tastes. The new GT is 16% stiffer than the old model. Cerato GT's McPherson struts at the front end and multi-link rear end make it a really great handler. The cabin builds on the standard cabin that's in the normal Cerato, with this really cool dashboard, which I've always thought reminds me of the boot of a 1950s car, the way it swoops along with a headlight at either corner. Inside is really neat. USBs in the front and in the armrest, controls for the heated and cool seats, the parking sensors, the climate control, and this really neat touchscreen at the top. Don't forget, that's connected to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And the best feature of all is a single button that you can program to your favourite. I really like the seats, which are incredibly comfortable. As I said, heated and cooled, and they're perforated. There's also the neat red stitching all over the place, which I think just adds that kind of verisimilitude. Graham Gamble's done some excellent work tuning Kia Cerato's GT to Australian conditions. He's tuned it especially to these tyres. In-car features like the Qi wireless charging are absolutely invaluable. Currently, my phone is in the charger as we speak. The steering is nice and sharp, well, sharpish. Not quite perhaps as sharp as the Proceed GT was, but then this is a warm hatch, not a hot hatch. Although it's got the same engine, 150 kilowatts, it feels responsive and nice, and it doesn't bite you on the it doesn't bite you. And now at 80 kilometers an hour, you can hear how quiet this cabin is, relatively speaking, on this fairly smooth section of tarmac. I liked Proceed GT a lot, But Cerato picks up where it left off. It has some extra doors, it's got some extra space. Most importantly, it's got the 7-speed DCT. And that's what makes the difference between that hot hatch and this warm hatch. As I've mentioned, I really prefer the sedan. I think the sedan looks better. The acceleration is brisk without breaking your neck, and the ride is smooth-ish, although some of our friends thought it was a little bit rough. There's nothing I don't like about Cerato GT. I like the highlights, I like the red, I like the engine, I like the transmission. Most of all, I like the 7-year warranty. So, if you want a car that you can drive day to day, you don't have to worry about anything going wrong for 7 years, why would you choose anything else? There you go, 2019 Kia Cerato GT. It's one of the first cars to get a split safety rating, which is a little bit sad, but a 4-star rating isn't necessarily bad news. The GT gets a 5-star rating, and it gets that because of the autonomous emergency braking and the other active safety features. I'm going to rate Kia's Cerato GT at 8.5 out of 10 for all of the extra stuff that it's got in it, the autonomous emergency braking, lane control and so forth. But most importantly, don't forget, subscribe by hitting that little blue button, and watch another video by hitting that one just over there, just down there. No, down there. No, I said down there.